Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a world where technology doesn't just, assist, but genuinely transforms human capability, especially when we talk about health and mobility.
Exactly.
That's exactly the fascinating world we're diving into today. Our subject is medical exoskeletons,
Yep.
specifically the global exoskeleton robots in medical market.
hmm
And our mission for you, our listener, is basically to cut through all the data, pull out the really important insights from official research by cognitive market research. We want to give you a clear shortcut to being incredibly well informed about this sector. It's evolving so fast. We'll look at its current landscape and its, undeniable future growth across the globe.
And what's truly revolutionary here, I think, is how these devices are moving beyond just sort of incremental improvements.
Right.
They're profoundly redefining patient outcomes, reshaping how we even think about rehabilitation practices, and enhancing personal mobility in ways that honestly were almost unimaginable just a few years back.
Yeah.
It really is a genuine paradigm shift in patient care.
That's right. And to really get a handle on the scale of this, let's start with the big picture, right? The global market figures.
Okay.
So back in 2021, the entire medical exoskeleton market generated revenue just under $400 million, about $396.19 million to be precise.
Which is pretty substantial already.
It is. But get this. It's projected to nearly double to almost $700 million, $682.7 million by 2025.
Wow.
And here's where it gets truly staggering. By 2033, the projection is that it'll soar past $2 billion. $2,000 million.
2 billion, yeah.
We're looking at a global compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, averaging just over 14.5%, or 14.573 to be exact.
That's a very healthy growth rate.
It really is. So what does this all mean for you listening? We're talking about a market that's set to quintuple in size in just over a decade.
Yeah, and if we connect those really robust numbers to the bigger picture, it's clear this isn't just about, financial growth. It's about a fundamental reevaluation of how we approach recovery and support in healthcare. This exponential expansion is being fueled by a few critical factors.
Like what?
Well, there's a rapidly increasing demand for innovative robotic rehabilitation tools, for one. We're also seeing significant and sustained investment across healthcare systems worldwide. And of course, continuous advancements in wearable robotics technology itself are making these devices more effective, more accessible, and frankly, more user-friendly.
Right.
These drivers are really creating this powerful engine for this, incredible market.
Okay, so we've got that powerful global overview. Now, here's where it gets, I think, particularly interesting as we zoom in region by region.
Right, let's break it down.
Let's start with North America. It currently stands as one of the most dominant regions in this entire field.
Yeah, definitely leading the pack in terms of current market size.
Its market was valued at over $160 million back in 2021, and it's projected to reach nearly $780.5 million by 2033. Huge jump, yeah. Growing at an impressive KGR of just over 14%.
Yeah.
14.116%.
And within North America, the United States is, it's undoubtedly the largest force. It's projected to exceed $627 million by 2033. That represents a massive slice of the regional market.
Right.
However, what's kind of interesting to note is Canada, while it's a smaller market overall, it actually shows a slightly higher annual growth rate than the U.S.
Oh, really?
Yeah, projected to reach over $93 million by 2033, with a CAGR of 14.875%.
Huh.
It suggests, perhaps, a particularly strong uptake and adoption rate there, maybe effective integration into their healthcare system,
That makes sense.
And Mexico is also seeing healthy growth, forecast to reach $59 million by 2033, growing at about 14.3% annually. So it shows a pretty broad regional embrace of this tech.
So when you look at those numbers, even with the slight differences between, say, the U.S. and Canada, what stands out to you about how they show the sheer scale of adoption across the continent?
I mean, it just shows it's not a niche thing anymore. It's becoming quite mainstream, certainly in terms of healthcare investment and planning across North America. The numbers are significant everywhere.
Okay. Moving across the Atlantic now, let's look at Europe, another really significant contributor to this market.
Big player, too.
Its collective market value was around $84 million, $84.39 million in 2021, and it's projected to grow to over $407.46 million by 2033. Also maintaining a strong CAGR, about 14%. Very similar to North America, actually.
Yeah, very similar overall growth. But Europe really showcases, I think, the diverse ways this technology is being adopted across different countries.
How so?
Well, you've got Germany, for example, which is a real powerhouse, expected to grow to nearly $86 million by 2033 with a very strong CGR, almost 15%.
Good.
The UK and France are also key markets, both projected to be around the $50–60 million mark by 2033.
Right.
But it's also worth highlighting how this adoption isn't just limited to the largest economies. You see smaller, quite progressive markets like, say, Sweden. Sweden started around $5.5 million in 2021, projected to hit $27 million by 2033. Or Denmark, starting under $4 million, projected over $17 million.
Wow.
So even though they start from lower bases, they're seeing substantial long-term growth, too. It really indicates a widespread recognition of the value of these medical exoskeletons across lots of different European healthcare models.
That's a great point. It's not just the big guys.
Exactly.
And now, for what might be the real story of this deep dive, the Asia-Pacific region.
Yes.
This is where we see the most, well, aggressive growth trajectory in the entire market, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Leading the growth trajectory, for sure.
Starting at around $93.5 million in 2021, this region is projected to explode to over $530 million by 2033. $533.14 million.
It's phenomenal growth.
Its momentum is truly impressive. It boasts the highest regional CAGR at more than 15.6%.
Yeah, 15.622%. And this exceptional growth in Asia-Pacific isn't entirely surprising when you look at some key regional drivers. There's a real rising tide of investment in advanced healthcare technologies across the region. And critically, many countries there are experiencing a rapidly growing elderly population.
Ah, right. Demographics.
Exactly, which naturally boosts the demand for innovative mobility and rehabilitation solutions.
Makes sense.
Within this region, China is a dominant force, expected to reach a staggering $157 million by 2033.
Wow.
Japan also has a very strong market, projected to exceed $82 million. But the real standout here might be India.
India.
Yes. It exhibits the highest KGR in the entire region, maybe even globally in this specific context, projected to grow from under $15 million in 2021 to over $92 million by 2033.
That's over a 16% CAGR.
16.442%, yeah. And Singapore also shows remarkable growth, CAGR of over 16% too, from about $2.5 million to over $15 million.
So this really raises an important question, doesn't it? What unique factors in Asia-Pacific do you think are driving such an accelerated and widespread adoption, especially in these emerging powerhouses like India and Singapore?
Well, it's likely a combination of factors. Government initiatives focusing on healthcare tech, a growing middle class with higher healthcare expectations, maybe leapfrogging some older technologies, and that demographic pressure we mentioned. It's kind of a perfect storm for this kind of tech adoption.
Yeah, fascinating stuff. And what's really clear from all these numbers is that this transformation is genuinely global. It's not just happening in a few key spots.
Absolutely not.
The impact of medical exoskeletons is being felt pretty much everywhere, and it's definitely not confined to just the largest, most developed economies.
Right.
We just glance at some other progressive markets. The story of growth just continues. South America, for instance, projected to surge from just under $24 million in 2021 to over $126 million by 2033.
Another big jump.
Yeah, and Argentina specifically shows particularly high growth there, over 15% CAGR. Then you've got the Middle East, set to grow from around $19 million to nearly $100 million in the same time frame. And the UAE stands out there with a very high CAGR, over 15.5%.
Strong adoption there, too.
And Africa as well. We see a similar upward trend, from about $15.5 million to over $80 million by 2033, with countries like South Africa and Nigeria really leading the charge on the continent.
What's truly fascinating here is just how universally this technology is being recognized for its value. That's leading to investment and adoption in, well, nearly every corner of the world.
Yeah.
These strong growth forecasts, they aren't just limited to the traditional economic powerhouses. We're seeing them across both developed and emerging nations.
It's quite striking.
It really is. It clearly indicates that the profound benefits of exoskeleton robotics, from empowering patients with greater independence to dramatically improving rehab outcomes, they're just becoming undeniable on every continent.
So to just briefly recap this deep dive then, the global exoskeleton robots in medical market isn't merely expanding, it's fundamentally reshaping the entire landscape of healthcare.
Couldn't agree more.
It's truly enabling newfound mobility, significantly accelerating rehabilitation processes, and ultimately just redefining what's possible for patient outcomes. This isn't just about impressive market statistics, is it? It's about a future where human potential is profoundly amplified by this kind of groundbreaking tech.
Exactly. And the rapid global expansion of this market really does suggest a future where personal mobility assistance and advanced rehabilitation, while they might become as vital and commonplace as other core medical technologies we rely on today.
Yeah.
It really invites us and you listening to consider, what does this actually mean for the everyday lives of countless patients globally? And maybe just as importantly, how will it fundamentally reconfigure the broader healthcare systems that serve them? It's something to really think about.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into, well, a really fascinating area, exoskeleton robots in the medical market.
Yeah, it's this incredible intersection, isn't it? Cutting edge robotics meeting healthcare innovation.
Exactly. And it feels like it's really starting to converge now, actually redefining things like mobility, rehabilitation, and just, quality of life for so many people.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission today really is to explore how these devices are reshaping what's possible right now, and maybe touch on what surprised us digging into the
Sounds
sources.
good.
Okay, so let's unpack this right away. What's truly fueling this incredible growth in medical exoskeletons? What are the big drivers we should look at first?
Well, I think one huge catalyst is just the sheer scale of the challenge we're facing globally.
Wow.
The demand for better rehabilitation and mobility support is just increasing.
Right.
Think about it. I mean, something like 15 million strokes happen worldwide every year, plus spinal cord injuries, musculoskeletal issues.
Yeah.
It creates this pressing need for really sustained, effective rehab. And traditional methods, sometimes they just struggle to deliver the intensity or duration needed.
That's a huge number. So how specifically are these exoskeleton robots, stepping in? Is it just about the physical movement or is there more to it?
Oh, it's definitely more than just a physical assist. They're really enabling patients, especially, say, the elderly or those recovering from stroke or with spinal cord injuries, to actually regain independence.
Independence, okay.
And that significantly improves their overall quality of life. It's not just about walking again, necessarily. It gives a massive boost to patient confidence.
I can imagine.
And think about the caregivers, too. It reduces the physical burden on them and on therapists. It can even speed up recovery sometimes, which means rehab resources get used more efficiently.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that ties right into the second really critical driver, just the relentless pace of tech progress, especially AI integration.
Ah, the tech side.
Yeah, the advancements in robotics, these tiny wearable sensors, and artificial intelligence, it's moving so fast.
Right.
It's not just making the devices smarter, but way more efficient, adaptable, and crucially, much safer.
Safer, right. You mentioned smarter and lighter in the prep. What does that actually let these new devices do? How does that translate into like more customized therapy?
Well, think about something like AI-powered gait analysis. The exoskeleton can actually learn a patient's specific way of moving.
Huh, really?
Yeah, it can almost predict their intended movement and then adapt the assistance level in real time. So it's truly customized therapy. It
Yeah.
means they're not just providing like static support. They're dynamically responding. And that level of personalized interaction, it allows for much more nuanced rehab in all sorts of settings, hospitals, special rehab centers, even at home.
Right, so moving beyond just the clinic.
Exactly, leading to much better outcomes for people with neurological conditions, orthopedic issues, you name it.
Hmm.
Then the third key driver, which is also really important, is the more supportive regulatory environment we're seeing, plus increased government funding.
Okay, the official side of things.
Yeah. Medical authorities, public health bodies, they're increasingly recognizing the therapeutic value here. And it's not just, a thumbs up, it's actual tangible support.
So we're talking specific things like government grants, maybe faster approvals for new devices, research funding, that kind of thing.
Precisely. Those things help accelerate market entry, but what's making a practical difference for people now?
Yeah, like for someone who needs this technology today, maybe a veteran or someone after a serious accident.
That's where initiatives like veterans healthcare programs are really stepping up. They're actively integrating exoskeletons.
Okay.
And we're also seeing slowly, maybe, but steadily, the emergence of insurance reimbursements.
Ah, the money part. Crucial.
Absolutely crucial because these are high-value technologies. Getting insurance on board is fundamental for wider adoption and making them accessible.
Yeah, absolutely. But, as amazing as all this sounds, it can't be all smooth sailing. There's got to be challenges, right?
Right.
What are some of the big roadblocks holding back wider use?
Oh, definitely. And probably the biggest one, no surprise, is the cost. The high cost of the devices themselves, combined with insurance coverage
Right.
that's, well, often limited or inconsistent.
Right. How high are we talking? Like ballpark?
An advanced medical exoskeleton, easily tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes well over 100,000 if it's highly complex or customized.
Wow. Okay, yeah. That price tag immediately makes them inaccessible for a lot of individuals.
Yeah.
And probably smaller clinics too, right? Especially in, say, developing countries.
Exactly. And that inconsistent insurance support just compounds the problem. It really limits how widely they can be used in clinics, let alone for home use.
So it definitely raises that question about, equitable access. Who
Yeah.
actually gets to benefit from this amazing tech?
It's a major barrier. Insurance policies can be really strict, maybe only covering certain conditions or limiting how long you can use it. So lots of patients who could benefit just get left out. It slows down the whole adoption cycle.
Hmm. Okay, cost and insurance. What else?
The second hurdle, and it's one people maybe don't think about as much, is just the complexity,
Yeah.
the training needed, and actually using them day to day.
Right. It's not like just plugging in a new treadmill.
Not at all. These are sophisticated machines. They need pretty rigorous, specialized training for the therapists and for the patients just to operate them safely and get the benefits.
And what happens if that training isn't great? Or if it's not used quite right? Does it just not work as well, or could it actually be risky?
It can definitely compromise the therapy results, yeah. And in some situations, incorrect use could cause discomfort, maybe even minor injury. So that means longer setup times, higher initial training costs,
Hmm.
which is tough, especially for smaller clinics, maybe working with tighter budgets or limited staff. It's not just buying the machine, it's investing in the people to use it properly.
Got it. So cost, training,
Hmm.
anything else?
And the third area that still needs quite a bit of improvement is portability.
Ah, right. Battery life, weight.
Pretty much. While they're obviously designed for movement, many current systems are still, well, a bit bulky, and battery life can be a real constraint.
So even though they help you move, they can still be kind of a literal drag sometimes. Is that why using them at home or, out and about isn't quite there yet?
That's a big part of it. Battery tech is getting better, but getting that really long duration, untethered use outside a clinic, still a challenge.
Hmm.
Plus, the weight and just the general ergonomics can make spontaneous, everyday use difficult. So for really widespread use outside the clinic, like in home care, we still need more breakthroughs in making them lighter and more energy efficient, make them truly practical long term.
Okay, so hurdles exist. But despite those barriers, it feels like the future here is still incredibly bright.
Mm.
What are some of the really exciting trends you're seeing? What's next?
Well, one of the biggest shifts, I think, is seeing exoskeletons expand into home healthcare and assisted living settings.
Bringing it into the home.
Exactly. Populations are aging globally, and the demand for ways to stay mobile and independent at home is just skyrocketing.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So we're seeing these wearable exos actually being used in, say, elder care facilities or even in people's own houses, helping seniors live more independently.
We are. It's starting to happen. Enabling seniors to rely less on human caregivers, stay in their own homes longer, it really starts to change the whole model of care. It's about empowering people right where they live.
That is fascinating. What else?
Another real game changer, and it fits perfectly with the home care trend, is integrating exoskeletons with telehealth, remote monitoring.
Okay, connecting them up.
Yeah, using things like IoT sensors built into the device. They can share real-time data, joint angles, force measurements, maybe even patient vital signs.
So the therapist can see what's happening remotely.
Precisely. They can track progress, adjust the rehab plan, deliver feedback, all much more efficiently without the patient always having to come into the clinic.
Wow. That sounds like a massive step towards making rehab more scalable, more personalized, and just more accessible, right?
Hmm.
How does that digital link change the dynamic between patient and therapist?
It's pretty transformative. Therapists get this constant stream of data. They can spot if someone's struggling or maybe plateauing and intervene proactively.
Yeah.
It gives them an unprecedented level of insight, totally data-driven, which lines up perfectly with the whole digital health revolution. It means more consistent care, less travel for patients, just smarter health care overall.
Incredible. Okay, what else is on the horizon?
And lastly, something really exciting is the development of pediatric models and also just generally much lighter weight exoskeletons.
For kids, that's huge.
It really is. Manufacturers are now seriously investing in designing compact, adjustable systems specifically for children or even just smaller adults.
How well are they working? I mean, for things like pediatric neurohab or maybe kids with genetic conditions affecting mobility, those kids often had so few options before.
They're proving really effective. These new designs focus on getting the fit just right, making the controls intuitive, which is absolutely essential for kids.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the physical support. They're thinking about how it impacts cognitive development, emotional well-being too.
Right, the whole child.
Exactly. So if you connect that to the bigger picture, it's really about opening up possibilities for a whole group that was often kind of overlooked. It emphasizes comfort, that emotional connection, real inclusivity. It could genuinely reshape childhoods for some kids.
That's really powerful. So just to kind of wrap things up, it seems clear the exoskeleton robots and medical market is definitely on this strong upward path, driven by, well, growing healthcare needs, amazing tech innovation, and these shifting models of care that are much more patient-focused.
Absolutely. And yeah, while those barriers we talked about, cost, training needs, they're still real, the future holds just immense potential, really enhancing mobility, redefining care through this kind of sophisticated robotic help.
So maybe the final thought to leave everyone with is this. As these incredible robotic companions become more integrated, more common, how will they truly reshape our fundamental understanding of human potential
Yeah.
and independence? What will mobility even mean 50 years from now?